Hello there and welcome back to January, a series where I am uploading every single weekday throughout the month of January, or at least trying to. For today's video, I'm going to be doing something totally unique, totally original, something that no YouTuber has ever done before. Yeah, I finally caved. I'm doing the assumptions video. Honestly, it's a rite of passage at this point. Everyone has to do it at some point in their YouTube channel career. So if you don't know the concept of this video, firstly, is your name Patrick Starr and have you been living under an actual rock? And secondly, the concept is basically that I took to my Instagram stories to ask you guys what you have assumed about me from watching my YouTube videos. And today I'm going to read through them and respond to them and tell you whether they're accurate or not. I have the responses here, so I guess it's time to see whether you have been nice to me or whether you put the ass in assumption. Let's start with assumption numero uno. Hopefully it's not that you think I can speak Spanish, because I can't. Okay, statement number one is you hate the title influencer. Now this is an interesting one. I would say that I prefer the term content creator. It's a funny one because obviously these titles are meant to explain what you do in as few words as possible. For example, firefighter. They fight fires. So then you have influencer, and I would not say that the most important thing or the prime thing that I do is influence people. So in that respect, I wouldn't really call myself an influencer, and I'm also cringing at the fact that I've mentioned firefighters and influencers in the same breath. I am not suggesting that those two things are comparable, just to make that abundantly clear. But I do also understand that the media and business and like in the industry, it makes sense to call them influencers. Number two is you like passion fruit. Do I give off a passion fruit vibe? I hope so. I do love passion fruit, so you're absolutely right. You've never failed at anything academic. This is not true at all. I think because the area or niche of YouTube that I would come under is StudyTube. Some people do seem to naturally assume that I've never like failed at anything academic or that I've always been super academic, and that's just not true at all. I would say up until like year 10, I really wasn't that academic, like it just wasn't my priority. I think I've just always been quite hardworking, and if I want something, I will strive and do whatever I can do to get it. And so trust me, I have failed things academically so many times. You struggle with the darn workload and wish you went somewhere else. I would never ever wish that I went somewhere else. I've had the best time, and yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. However, I do quite an intense subject at quite an intense university and also have quite a few things going on at the same time, and I really wanted to get as involved with like societies and clubs and do all the extracurricular things that I wanted to do at university. And so I have definitely struggled to balance everything. I always feel like I'm spinning about 12 plates and there's always one that's just about to fall and smash. But you know, it's all fun and games. Ah, here we go. You say yes to everything as you love being busy. So true. I'm such a yes man. Honestly, I made a conscious decision to just start saying yes to everything and putting myself out there and just giving everything a go, which is tremendous fun, but also crazy, crazy busy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Oh no, this one's a horrible one, that you're unfriendly and don't like to be approached. This is so not true. I would say that anytime anyone comes and says hello to me, I love it, in the sense that I love meeting new people. I love finding out things about people because I feel like you can learn something from absolutely anyone you meet. And so whenever I meet anyone who's watched my YouTube videos who comes to say hello to me or whatever, I always want to learn something about them. So if anyone thought I was unapproachable, that would break my heart. Like I love it. It's very, very common actually for people to come over and say like, oh, I'm sorry I'm being so annoying, but honestly you're not. Like, it makes my day every day. You find it easy to talk to new people since you're such a likable person. I would say that I'm a very talkative and chatty person. I love meeting new people. So I find it easy to talk to people when they come up to me. However, I've always had this thing, which I didn't even realize was kind of weird and not everyone had it until quite recently, where I naturally assume that people don't like me straight away. No matter who I meet or what I'm doing, something in my head is always like, they won't like you, they won't like you. So, I don't know, I think I'm a big warrior, but once we've broken the ice, I could talk to anyone. You have no idea what you're going to do once you've completed your degree. Well, I would love to do a master's more than anything, and I've actually applied now. I sent off my application the other day, but if that doesn't work out, then I would love to move to London. I would love to travel. There's so many places in the world that I would love to go to and to visit. And I've mentioned this before, but one thing I would absolutely jump at the chance to do is a screenwriting course and to learn a little bit more about screenwriting and that kind of thing. So I would say, because I'm in my final year of university and graduating is quite soon, I've kind of been forced to start thinking about it a little bit. And so I do sort of in my head have options. You don't see your girlfriend a lot. Now, this is actually untrue. I see her every day, but I would say it's such a good example of how even if you watch someone online, you really don't see everything. It may sound so hypocritical to say this on a YouTube video, but I'm actually a very private person. And so anything to do with my family, my relationships with people, I tend to kind of keep a bit more private. So yeah, maybe that's just a good reminder that even when people share things online, you never really see everything. You went to an all-boys school. Yes, that is true. I actually had such a good time. Met super cool people, had really great opportunities and experiences. Yeah, wouldn't complain. You went to a private/grammar school. No, I went to a state school for my whole education. Actually, really interestingly, someone mentioned a comp school when I got to uni, and I genuinely had no idea what that even meant, even though I'd been to one. Because I was state educated and that was my whole experience, I didn't even really know the terms for like private schools and public schools and all of this kind of thing. You have a shelf of books that you keep meaning to read but never get around to it. What gave it away? Yeah, you got me. That you've always been a hard worker. I would say that I've always had big dreams and big goals, but it wasn't until probably the last like 6-7 years that I actually started working towards them. You found A-levels easy. No, 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 no. I cannot stress enough how not easy I found A-levels. Oh my God. I'm so glad that they're done. I'm so glad that I put in the amount of effort that I did, but I would never ever want to do that again. That you're a massive football fan. I actually played football for like 10 years, but I always preferred playing to watching. And so now that I don't play, I don't really watch it unless it's like a social thing. You're confident and extroverted online, but quiet and a bit awkward in real life. Ooh, I would say that anyone, when they are posting a YouTube video and they're alone in their bedroom and they're completely in control of it and they're completely comfortable, they are being their most true version of themselves. Whereas if you then saw me just walking down the street on my own with my headphones in, you might think, ooh, he's a bit quiet and awkward, but like, I'm not gonna be walking around the street like, I don't know, I think that people sometimes expect you to have exactly the same persona as you do on YouTube at all times of the day. And I very much am this person, and I think everyone who knows me says like you're exactly the same online and in person. But equally, I'd look like a psychopath if I always had this like big grin on my face when I was walking down the street. So, I don't know, does that answer? I'm not sure. Gay, ... no offense. Firstly, not offensive. Secondly, not true. You will never get a tattoo. No, I definitely think I will get one at some point. I actually went with my brother when he got his tattoo, and being so up close with a needle, I really thought that it would put me off tattoos for life, but actually I was like, yeah, this is kind of confirmed that I really do want one. In fact, I'm a very, very indecisive person, but I do know exactly what I want and exactly where I want it. I just can't bring myself to go and actually do it. Who knows, maybe 2020 could be the year, unless you're my grandmother watching this, in which case, it's definitely not the year. That will never happen. You have physical reactions to grammatical errors. I think that because I do an English degree, people naturally think like, oh, he must just be obsessed with grammar, and if anyone makes a mistake, he's the first to correct them. But honestly, like, I don't care. I think as long as you know what someone means, there's no real need to correct their grammar. Like, Australia is burning, we have bigger problems here, guys. You are a massive Tory. In the words of Alfie Days, I'm not a Tory. You don't care about school as much, now you have a successful YouTube career. I would say regardless of YouTube, regardless of anything, I have never been so passionate about my studies and about my subject as I am right now. And I've kind of found this area of YouTube where I can vlog being at university, so I get the best of both worlds. So I'm a happy chappy. You dated your friend Ella. Not true. Friends thought that it was strange that you started to vlog your life and put it online. Genuinely, my friends have always been so supportive. I think because we kind of grew up with YouTubers, like we grew up watching YouTube, it wasn't necessarily this foreign, strange, crazy thing to do. I think people just kind of got it. And I feel so grateful for that. You post too many ads just to pay for uni. I can confidently say and honestly say that I only ever work with brands that I think are great. And I've been so incredibly lucky that brands that I love want to work with me for some reason. Equally, one thing that I find so frustrating is when people assume that just because content is sponsored, it isn't high quality content. Because if anything, I would say I work even more hard on sponsored content. I thought you'd be self-righteous, but you were so nice to my drunk self. Well, it was lovely to meet you. Your YouTube channel helped you get into university. Not true, I didn't even put it on my application. You were a bit weird in year 7, weren't we all? You try hard to please everyone. Oh my god, so much. You know you buy too many clothes viewed from an ecological perspective. Yes, it's something that I'm trying to cut down on a lot in 2020. I haven't ordered any new clothes yet. I'm really, really trying to be more sustainable in terms of clothing. You drink wine on nights out. Red wine makes me vomit. I am not doing that anymore. You've rarely got below a first in university assignments. Oh hell, that is so wrong. Once I kind of start getting to grips with it, I'm kind of okay by exam time, but genuinely I've had every grade on the spectrum, trust me. That you can't drive. No, I did fail my driving test 3 times before passing, and I did drive on the wrong side of the road on my way to the driving test, but I can drive now. You want to be a TV presenter, maybe for a kids channel. I think you'd be great at that. That's very kind of you, and yes, I very much would. You've slept with one of your housemates. No, this is not true. Number 1 rule of university, don't shit where you eat. And that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.